sent the information to your map screen. That's the target's predicted location. Check all around the target and plan carefully before moving in.
Talk. Where are your friends? Speak.
Boss, we've just received word that the arms dealer due to inspect Nova Braga Airport is on his way. Once his chopper has arrived, they'll be touring the facilities along with the target. Let him bring the target out into your line of fire.
Where are your friends? Spit it out.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Spit it out.
It's a surveillance camera. Don't get spotted. That's an enemy gunship. The chopper will be arriving any minute. Watch out. There's a chopper landing. It must be carrying the arms dealer. Keep your eyes on him. Our intel suggests the target will leave the country with the arms dealer after the inspection. Take him out before that happens. That must be the arms dealer. His next move will be to meet the target. Looks like the arms dealer's chopper is going to patrol for the security forces. Be sure you don't get spotted from above. Get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Meneer, ek het gehoor dat 'n man by die olieveld die Boss was.
Is that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
Iemand so hy te staan gekom. Ons kontrak is slegs gespesifiseer dat ons die fasiliteit beskerm teen plaaslike bevolking en militante faksies. Beskerming teen PF's gerig teen moderne tegnologie is 'n heel ander affære.
Ek het genoeg gehoor. Vereers het ons 'n inspeksie om af te hang. Wys my die plek.
Begryp. Kom ons begin by die suidelike einde. Stap die kant toe.
That guy talking with the arms dealer. Could he be the target? arms dealer made contact with the target. Can you see the target anywhere near the dealer?
Stay.
There, that's the target.
Dit is die suidelike hek. Die dak het al beter daar gesien, maar ons gaan dit regmaak in 'n japgat.
Baie ruimte. Dis goed. Is die noordelike henger so groot soos die een?
Ja, hulle is dieselfde ontwerp. Dis 'n bietjie ver om te loop. Kom ons vat die kaart.
Beslis.
Dis net daar.
Ek wil nie trek nie.
Where are your friends?
Damn it!
He's coming too. Roger that.
Waar ons nodig. Ons gaan die lughawe gebruik as afsetpunt vir die verkoop van nukes.
Verkoop van nukes. Jy's
Dis wat ons doen. Natuurlik is die verspreiding van kernwapens 'n kopsie, maar wat as jy 'n atoombom op enige plek kan bou sonder spesialisfasiliteite, sonder hoëgraad uraan? Dis die nuwe sakemodel. Dink net aan die markandeel wat ons kan betrek.
meneer is nie ernstig nie.
Ek is altyd ernstig. Jou verkoopsroetes gaan onvervangbaar wees. En om te dink, as jy nie 'n nukes het, sal die MPLA ook wil kry. Betaling sal uiteindelik groter mynregte wees en dies meer. Maar sedert die oliebaronne Amerika se spoorwegstelsels verlam het, sal daar altyd 'n mark vir olie wees. Unitiese diamante sal nogal 'n lekker payday wees. 'n Meisie se beste vriend natuurlik. Dis PA vir jou. Elke sakker se skrouende girlfriend is deel van ons bemarkingsplan. En die Afrikaner mors net al die geld. Koop wapens om mekaar uit te moer. Die regte wêreld. Kak snaaks, nee my broer.
Vertel dit vir wie ook. Bloedgeld. Sonder oorlog is my manne werkloos. Dis ons enigste uitweg, want alle ander industrie is uit die streek verdryf deur koloniale magte wat wind slaan. Dis omtrent al wat ek kan hanteer.
Toe gat jakkals.
Het jy genoeg gesien? Sodra die ondersoek verby is, moet jy my in chasse toe vat, soos ons saam gestem het.
So jy wil die kans verspeel, die grootste besigheidskans wat ooit jou kant toe gekom het. Dis van met my. Iemand sal wel jou plek oorneem. Maak nie saak wat ek of jy doen. Die getuie van die ekonomie sal sy gang gaan. Nie terwyl die groot moonthede stry oor al die ryk.
Die beheertoring is die kant.
They feed off the conflict and turn around and blame the colonial governments? Now that's hypocrisy.
Where are the others? Don't talk. Where are your friends? Speak.
The enemy chopper is heading over to pick them up. Take out the target before it gets there.
Ek het amper vergeet om te vra. Ek hoor daar's 'n siekte in die omgang waar jy was.
Ja, baie vreemde siekte. Maar die streek was bloedig. Ons klif was hulle ook aan ons kant. Eindelijk was die kans met die ou wat alles gehandeld het, maar hulle allemaal gesterf. Nou is die gebied so beset met die kom van die vuil, dat die kans met my mekaar gestraal. Ek maar wat hulle nie sê. Ek kom vraag jy, ek miskien. Ek sien, kyk. Nie my bullshit. Jy weet iets. Dit het iets te maak met die experimente wat hele mense gedoen het by soja, maar die boel, maar selfs ons gaan dit vaststel.
Te veel wetenlik onaardige gevolge vir jou gezondheid. Jy waai in elk geval uit af. Maar lewe luks met die pennies wat jy gespaar het, wapen verkoop. Vergeet van die waarde. Kom eens maar, de kopter is op pad.
They know something about the experiments going on in that factory. Well, there's no time now. Act now or the target boss. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Good. You captured it alive. We've begun development on that new battle gear weapon that Emmerich was talking about. If you want to see how development's going, come take a look for yourself. Boss, I know you're just coming off this mission, but there are reports of child soldiers taking over Massa Village after the CFA got wiped out there. They've been raiding the surrounding villages, so the people have requested we eliminate them. Check your mission list for the details. Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
just coming off this mission, but there are reports of child soldiers taking over Masa Village after the CFA got wiped out there. They've been raiding the surrounding villages, so the people have requested we eliminate them. Check your mission list for the details.
So SALT II still hasn't gone into effect. That treaty was drawn up to limit not just the size of the U.S. and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems. The whole deal. Just when we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off, somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. The timing couldn't have been worse.
The president was in the middle of the SALT II talks back then.
You mean while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary in Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker, and were on the verge of ordering a retaliatory nuclear strike.
Coleman's big idea? Humans are incapable of destroying themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of.
If that AI, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch.
Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream it was.
All thanks to you. And her. The U.S.-Soviet talks looked set to fall through. What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end...
The time's to find the politics. When you've grabbed their tail, they turn and bite your hand.
I first met you 20 years ago now. The place was Selenouyarsk in the Soviet Union. We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were still fighting for America. 1964. Operation Snake Eater. Its objective? The assassination of the legendary soldier known as the Boss. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title Big Boss. Your CO, Zero, sought to carry on the boss's will by covertly establishing his own organization. You knew the original members from Operation Snake Eater. From America, there was David O., or as he was to you, Major Zero. Donald Anderson, aka Sigint, Dr. Clark, who went by paramedic during the operation, and the fourth, you. From China there was Eva, and me, Ocelot, from the Soviet Union. 6 in total. To us, government notions of friend and foe were meaningless. As were East and West, we joined forces by our will alone. Our objective was to fulfill the boss's dying wish, to make the world one. And to do it, Zero used the Philosopher's Legacy, the secret war fund you obtained during Operation Snake Eater. This organization would go on to become Cypher. I, on the other hand, was left with the problem. You only recovered half of the legacy. I had to locate the other half myself. When I found the funds, I passed them on to Zero, just as you wanted.
I still trusted him in those days.
We thought what he was doing was the boss's will, until he started that one project.
Les enfants terribles, Zero called it.
You parted ways, as did Eva, leaving only Anderson and Clark still with him. I maintained limited contact, although truth be told, we were just keeping tabs on one another. The reason was always you. After you returned to the Army and created Foxhound, you left America. For a time, even I'd lost track of you. I'd imagine Zero did too. You always were the best when it came to hide and seek. Zero created Cypher, an information network to tap into every corner of the globe. Woven together, Cypher's arteries make the world just one big organism. And that's not all. It also monitors the thorn in Zero's side. That's you, tracking your coordinates wherever you might go. The further you strayed from your roots, the larger Zero became. It's as if he was trying to close the gap between you. But before long, he disappeared from public life. Only a few people had direct contact with him. For a time, I was one of them. Then a year after you fell into your coma, he slipped out of sight entirely. Since then, nothing. No photos, no recordings, not even a reliable rumor as to his whereabouts. I tried every method I could think of, but Zero was gone. Freed of his control, his creation, his power continued to grow. Cypher is a great beast, and Zero was its spine. But even without him, it's endured, evolved. But now its body is rotting, riddled with parasites. Parasites like the ones who attacked you 9 years ago in the Caribbean, and then at the hospital. Cypher's Black Ops unit, XOF. They learned where you were, and came to wipe the slate clean. Christmas Eve, 1979. The Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims had revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene. The Afghan government was powerless and fraught with infighting. They lost the hearts and minds of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic revivalism. A superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over in an instant, only it wasn't. Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on all fronts. A war of attrition. These fighters call themselves Mujahideen. They're being supported by the West through Pakistan. That's why Miller was involved. He was training them near the Zero Line, sponsored by the CIA. The war has become a nightmare for the Soviet troops stationed here. They thought they'd be headed home in 6 months at the most. Then a year passed. 2 years. Now here we are 4 years on with no exit in sight. Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam. The Soviet troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs. The Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan. If the Mujahideen are fish swimming around the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off before being left to die at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation. And the cycle of vengeance goes on.